Okay, Adrian, another disappointing result at the weekend at Huddersfield. What do you think went wrong?
It was a tough one, really. I thought we trained very well. We after the disappointment against the Catalans, we really had a dig at training, but it was a case of we didn't stick to the game plan. We got out enthused by Huddersfield. They was hungrier than us, and ill discipline and all the things that we've been good at the last previous weeks. We went away from, so we come second best, and we was quite embarrassed at the end of the night, really. So it was one to chalk off. They've got the wood on us at the moment, Huddersfield. They've won the last 3 encounters, so it's important we bounce back now. Two defeats now. We can't afford another defeat, but the way the boys trained today, you can tell there's an air of not desperation, but a willingness to put the hard work in and get back to winning ways.
Of course, you've got the Crusaders coming up now. They're bottom of the league, so they're going to be trying their best to move up the table, aren't they?
They are, and the current Super League, any team can beat anyone on the day. If someone don't come prepared and the other team does, they'll knock them off. So irrespective of who would have played Friday, I'm sure we'll see an improved performance. And the fact that it's the Crusaders, that probably puts a bit more pressure on us, because it's a game we're expected to win. But it's important we knuckle down and put a good performance in.
Now, as captain, how do you rally the troops after a couple of below par performances?
Well, the boys, any defeat, the boys take it personally, and we had a chat the day after the game, and a bit of a heart to heart, really. And I said what needed to be said, but there's also a number of other leaders and senior players who spoke up. I'm not on my own, and it was a really good chat. Even the young boys, they said a few words, and where we think we're going wrong and where we think we need to improve, and we had a good chat. And as I say, you could tell today at training everyone had a spring in their step and determination. So you don't suddenly become a bad team overnight. And a couple of weeks ago we was flying very high, so we need to tap into that where it was and get back to winning ways.
I mean, a lot's already been said in the media about Briers didn't have a very good game against Catalans, and then he was missing at Huddersfield, but there's still a lot of reliance on him in the team.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. We was poor in a lot of areas against Huddersfield, but our halves weren't as dominant as Briers, Richie Milers and Chris Bridge, the first time they played together. So you're going to have a few teething problems, but one thing Briers is dominant, and he drives us around the park and gives us direction, that kind of thing. So we did miss him. I think he's back for the next weekend. So if he is missing again, maybe we might put Monas in half-back. I'm not too sure, but will be better for the experience. But it was a costly one, but I think he's back.
What do you think yourself about the player rotation and resting players?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's a very long season. We're all big, strong lads, and we all like to play every minute of every game, but that's it's not possible, really. I mean, you probably could, but you'd suffer burnout, suffer fatigue, that kind of thing. So if you've got the luxury of a big squad, which we have, why not utilise it and rest players and get them all fit and fresh and ready to go? And up until the last couple of losses, I thought it was working very well. It's only that we've had the losses, suddenly people start questioning the tactics. But I'm a fan of giving people a break when the time's right.
And were there any injuries after the weekend's performance?
No, a few bruised egos, but no major injury concerns, no.
But do you think there'll be some changes in the team for the Crusaders game?
Yeah, I think there will be. Probably not as a punishment, but Tony, he knows what he wants, and we didn't carry out his game plan, so there'll be a few tactical changes, I'm sure. If Briers is fit, I'm sure he'll be in. So No one knows the team yet, but I'm sure it'll be different.
Briefly looking away from Warrington, looking at the international scene, what are your views on this Exiles game?
I think it's absolutely fantastic, really exciting. No disrespect to France, but England beating France 50 odd or 60 odd to 0 or 4 or 10 or whatever they got is not ideal preparation. But with this team and the Aussies and Kiwi boys are taking the game very seriously, it's going to be a huge test for the English, and that's what you need. The Aussies and the Kiwis play each other during the year. They also got State of Origin, so they're already a little bit up on the English team before the Four Nations. So I think it's great. Yeah, very exciting. Love to be part of it. If Steve Mack wants to go down that way, I'd love to be a part of this Exiles match. Yeah.
Does it not concern you that it could impact on Warrington's own season, coming so close to the Salford game when we could have so many players involved in the Exiles game?
Possibly. I mean, over the last couple of years, I've played for England against France, and there's been a club game on that weekend anyway, so it won't be anything different. Just the fact that there might be a few overseas boys playing as well, but all the coaches, when this idea was put to him, was a fan of it, give it the green light. So I think you've got to look after the international game as well, as obviously try and look after your Warrington side as good as you can. But I think with the squad we've got, we can afford to lose a couple of players that weekend and still put a team out who can compete in the Super League. So I know what you're saying, but
it's tougher opposition as well, isn't it, than France?
No, it is. Yeah, no, it certainly is. So no, it's an exciting concept, and hopefully in the next couple of years that they'll put a full weekend aside where there's no game, it's just the Exiles match, and everyone will be happy then as well.
Okay, well, good luck with the rest of the season, Adrian, and thanks for your time. Cheers.
Cheers, pal.